So today, what I want you to be able to do, Neela, is if I give you a picture of a graph, can you come up with the equation? So there's two different methods you're going to learn. We're going to learn one method today, which is the method they want me to teach you in grade 9. There's another method which you learn in grade 10, which I'm going to teach you next day. Right? And I find the grade 10 method easier than the grade 9 method.
It is easier.
Right?
We start on the back page.
No, we're going to start right here. Okay, to start off, remind you of what we did in the first day. Because we're just going to do the backwards process of what we did in the first day. So in the first day, if I gave you an equation like this, I asked you to graph it. I said, hey, come up with 4 points. Right? And we made a table of x and y values like this. And I said, come up with 4 points, but for the purpose of this lesson, let's just do 3. Right? So, and I said, you can pick any x values you want. But if you pick smaller numbers, they're easier to work with. And so I said 0, 1, 2. Let's just use those.
Different?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then we go, hey, let's use the relationship that connects x and y together, this equation here, to find the matching y value. So we just wrote down our equation, and we said, oh, 2 times 0 plus 1. We did this calculation. What number do we get? 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. So when x is 0 in this relationship, y is 1. Then we did it for the other values. So you go 2 times 1 plus 1. What do we get? 3. Thank you. In this relationship, when x is 1, the y value is 3. That's what it's saying. Then we go to the next one. 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5. Oh, good. All right. So now we have 3 points. We draw those 3 points. We go over here. We go 0 and 1 is right here. 1 and 3 is right there. Right? And 2 and 5 right there. There are 3 dots. Grab our ruler. And you go through those 3 dots. And we have our line. Okay? So now, we want to go in the backwards direction. If I give you this, you need to come up with the equation. So we do the same thing, but in backwards way. So I'm going to jump to the back side of this page. We go to this one here. Okay? So you guys did a whole assignment on this, coming up with equations. What do you need? Is you need a table of values so you can find the pattern. So from the graph, we need to come up with a table of values. But we need to be clever with the way we pick our points. Technically, you can pick any points you want, but life becomes so much easier if you pick consecutive values. So remember here, it wasn't so difficult to figure out what the equation was. We had nice consecutive values going up by 1. On this one, it was a little bit more difficult because we jumped by 2. Then you had to do the extra little math of dividing by 2, right? So we want to avoid that. So when we given an equation, a graph, we want to pick consecutive values of x, just to make our life easier. So we're going to have a table here. We're going to go x, comma, or xy, and we want 3 or 4 points here, and we need a nice spot to start. And I'm looking at this. I'm going to start at x equals 2, and go up to the line here. I have a point there. I'm going to read the value. My x value is 2. What is my matching y value at this point? 1. Okay? So the next point we're going to look up is the next consecutive value. By the way, the next consecutive value isn't number 4 here. What's the number that comes after 2? 3. So don't necessarily look at the spacing that's on the graph. We go to the number 3. Number 3 would be right here on the graph. So we go up to the line, 3 and 3. Then we go up to 4, and you go up to there, and you go all the way up to here. We get that value. You got, what's the value at 4? It's not 4.
4 o'clock.
4 and 5. Thank you. Let's just do one more, just in case we make a mistake. At value 5, going up 7. Okay. So now we just do what you spent a whole assignment doing. We need to come up with the equation. Is it going to be x equals or y equals? Y equals. What pattern do you notice?
Going up by 2.
So every one jump in x, y goes up by 2, right? So remember, the coefficient is for every one jump in x. Okay. So, well, maybe I should have written this off to the side here somewhere. Y is equal to 2x. So we got our temporary equation. We just need to figure out what makes it work. So we go to our first spot here, and it's 2x. I plug in my x value. What's my x value here? 2, not 1, right? Last time it's 1, but it's 2 here. So it's 2 times 2, and I get 4. How do we adjust our equation? What do we have to add or subtract to make this work? Minus 3. So, subtract 3. This is our equation for our line, for this pattern. We go to a different spot on the table to make sure we didn't make any mistakes with our pattern detections. So, pick a spot. 3, 4, 5, 4. And so you got 2x minus 3. We plug in our value. We picked 4 this time. You go 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 3, we get 5. And it worked. That's it. All right? So